Hi, I'm Stacey Hawkins, the Time Savor Gourmet. Thanks so much for joining us this week. We're talking about heart-healthy Mediterranean diets, things that are rich in olive oil and fruits and vegetables, and you can check out all the great things that we made today with the Mediterranean diet right at the Times Herald Record website or at our website, timesavergourmet.com. Talking about recipes is one thing, seeing them in action is absolutely another. And I'm going to take today and make for you a Greek yogurt style cheesecake. You know, you can eat things like cheesecake and indulge in them if you change the ingredients around a little bit. Let's stop for just a second and review some of the ingredients. Starting first with our crust, I have here some Carr's digestive biscuits, or basically cheese crackers. You could also use graham crackers, and we'll mix that with a little bit of melted butter that I have here. For the inside, our cheese and our cheesecake, I'm actually using Greek style yogurt. It's thick, it's rich, it has 0 fat in it, and the best thing about this is 1 cup has a scant 140 calories, no fat, 9 carbohydrates, and 23 grams of protein. So it is so good for you. And we're only going to be using about half a cup per cheesecake. To that, I'll add a little bit of vanilla, good quality vanilla, a little bit of powdered sugar, and you saw me in the beginning slicing up a lemon. That's going to be my garnish. All right, let's put it all together. Let's start with our crackers. Now, I'm going to turn these into crumbs because I need a crumb for a crust. And as I said, if you wanted to, you could certainly use a pre-crumbed or cracker crumbs or graham cracker crumbs that already come in the box. But these are super easy to smush up, as you see that I'm doing here. Just with my rolling pin and a little baggie. And voila, they're already crumbs. Take these, dump them into your bowl, and add 4 teaspoons of melted butter. The butter is what's going to be used to hold this all together. And you don't have to feel bad about using real butter because there's no fat in the rest of our recipe. The butter I just melted in the microwave on high for about 30 seconds. And I'll just toss this together to coat my crumbs. The other thing I love about this recipe is that there is no baking involved whatsoever. That's even better if you don't have to heat up the oven. Next comes the key part to making our crust, and it's this little biscuit cutter. It's about a 2-inch biscuit cutter that I have, and if you don't have this, you can use an old soup can that you cut the top and the bottom off of. Take 1/4 of your cracker mixture, put it into the bottom, and then what you want to do is push it down so that you make a nice firm crust. Now I have here some non-stick cooking spray, and this is almost, the cap on this is almost exactly the same diameter as my mold here. So I'm just going to use this to my advantage and push it down. And that is going to push and create a nice crust on the bottom. Now let's move on to what we're going to put inside. In this bowl, I'll take 2 cups of my 0% Greek yogurt. I'm just going to eyeball it here. I want about 1/4 cup, or excuse me, half a cup for each little cheesecake. And we'll add to this a good teaspoon of vanilla. And about 4 teaspoons of powdered sugar. The Greek yogurt, although it's really tasty on its own, it's not at all sweet. It's kind of akin to the consistency and almost the flavor of sour cream. So it is a little on the tart side. For a dessert, we want to go ahead and sweeten it up a little bit. I start with 4 teaspoons of powdered sugar. And again, you want to use a powdered sugar, not a granulated sugar, because the granulated sugar will not dissolve in here in time for you to eat it. So you'll wind up with a grainy tasting cheesecake, whereas the powdered sugar will just incorporate right into the yogurt nice and easily. Now for today, I'm making a vanilla cheesecake, but if you wanted to, you could take some of that fresh lemon and squirt it in here. You could also take some melted preserves, like a strawberry preserve or an apricot preserve, and mix that in as well, just to give it a little bit more flavor. I would caution you though, if you're going to use preserves, use the preserves and put them in first before you put the sugar in. Otherwise, it might wind up being a little too sweet. And believe it or not, that's it. We can now take our cheese mixture and simply dollop it on top of our crust. And you can see this is nice and thick and rich. And we'll just put that on as it is. And if you notice, I'm making this right on the plate. What I'll do from here is take this and set it in the freezer just for about 30 seconds so that everything has the opportunity to set and my cheesecake will stay nice and firm on the dish. If you have more than one cookie cutter or pastry cutter, you can go ahead and make a bunch of these and put them on a cookie sheet and throw them in the freezer. But let's put it in the freezer for just 30 seconds and I'll be right back. While that's sitting in the freezer, why don't we go over the other things that we made for today's Go Healthy. First, down here we have a Mediterranean steak kebab that we made that's got some marinated vegetables as well as some delicious London broil. Moving right along, we have an herbed olive salad. This is a traditional Mediterranean olive salad with some calamatas and some niçoise and other kind of olives in there, red onion, feta, and some of the Time Savor Gourmet Mediterranean seasoning. Down here on the end, we have lemony garlic hummus. Hummus is not something you have to buy in the grocery store. It tastes so much better when you make it fresh. And this has the essence of lemon and garlic in it, as well as some great herbs and spices. And we serve that with some crisp pita chips. We also have this wonderful Greek salad with a non-fat Greek yogurt dressing. The salad itself has crisp cucumbers, again, some Kalamata olives, red onion, tomatoes. Tomatoes absolutely rich and lycopene, great for your eyes. And the dressing is a yogurt Mediterranean style dressing that's also got some garlic and lemon in it as well. Really delicious. And you know, if you wanted to make a complete meal out of that, throw some grilled chicken on it and you've got an instant dinner. All right, I think our cheesecake is probably ready. Let me go pull it out of the freezer. Here we go. And this is the moment of truth. I'll take my little ring, pull it off the cheesecake, and voila, you have a perfectly sized individual cheesecake. We can take the little lemon here that I cut earlier and just kind of curl it up, and we'll set that on top. And you have an instant delicious dessert. There we go. Now, let's taste. Oh, this is so good. Now, you know, the taste is so rich and so delicious. You're not gonna kid anybody that this is not an Italian style cheesecake with that heavy, dense sour cream and cream cheese in it, but you know what? The yogurt is so good it'll satisfy your sweet tooth. And it's heart healthy and delicious and chock full of protein. I'm Stacey Hawkins, the Time Saver Gourmet. Thanks for joining us. And for these recipes and more, make sure you check out the Times Herald Record website at recordonline.com or the Time Saver Gourmet website at www.timesavergourmet.com. We'll catch you next time.